Good morning, guys. It's Monday, May the 4th. Just so you see here, I'm sporting my Springton Lake baseball cap from 1998. This thing is 22 years old. Well, today and tomorrow, guys, we're going to be continuing on with Manifest Destiny. And let's just do a quick little breakdown of what we will be doing. Here's the map that we've been kind of dealing with the last week or so. If you look out here, guys, you're going to notice the Oregon Territory. We covered the Oregon Trail. Right down in this area here, we covered the Texas Revolution, and then Texas eventually became the 28th state to the United States, which led to war with Mexico. After the war with Mexico, as a result of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, the United States gained this uh, tract of land out here in the southwest section called the Mexican Cession. The fourth topic we covered was the California Gold Rush. Today, guys, we're actually going to take a look at how Manifest Destiny affected the lives of Native Americans and basically brought an end to the cultures, Native American cultures out west as we know it. This quote from Chief Joseph kind of summarizes it. Hear me, my chiefs, I am tired, my heart is sick and sad. From where the sun now stands, I will fight no more forever. Kind of sums up the demise of Native American cultures. Looking here at a map of the United States, if you focus here, guys, on the western section, the different shades of blue, these are the areas that Native Americans were pushed to as the 1800s wore on. The red areas, okay, were reservations, land that was set aside for Native Americans as more and more citizens, pioneers from the United States headed west. Well, how did they do that? You heard of the Oregon Trail, but the numbers started to increase with the Transcontinental Railroad. The Transcontinental Railroad began here in Omaha, Nebraska, and traveled all the way out here, about 1,776 miles to California. And it really changed the dynamic of the West. And like I said, the life of Native Americans. Here is a graph. If you notice here, guys, I'll leave this graph up here. But the correlation here, the amount of land that's settled by the United States, as that increases through the decades of the 1800s, the Native American population drops from 600,000 down to about 228,000. So almost by a third. Why? What led to the demise? We had the spread of disease. There was violence taken out upon the Native Americans, but also the population, the buffalo population in the West dropped throughout the decade. Here you see an estimated 30 million buffalo at the start of the 1800s, and by the end of the century, you're down to about maybe 10 to 20,000 buffalo remaining. Here is two graphic images. There was an old expression saying that when one buffalo died, so did a Native American. And here you see a huge pile of buffalo skulls that were hunted by pioneers, mostly for sport. And also here's a pile of buffalo hides. And again, this led to the demise of Native American culture. So what we're going to be doing for the next 2 days, if I go to school with you guys, May 4th and the 5th, you're going to have to do a couple of things. There is a Transcontinental Railroad video. It's brief. It's not that long. And also a Transcontinental Railroad article. It does a nice job summarizing the building and the effect of the railroad. Here are questions. These questions you have to answer and submit upon completion. After completing the Transcontinental Railroad questions, guys, you're going to read a primary source from Chief Seattle. Chief Seattle, you guessed it, the city of Seattle, Washington is named after him, and I have some images in the document of Chief Seattle and the statue that is in the center of Seattle today. When you read the primary source, embedded in the document, there are a couple of questions that I would like you to respond to regarding Chief Seattle and the perspective of Native Americans, because this letter is looked at as being the kind of the best source to kind of summarize the Native American perspective. There is an option to read aloud. You can read aloud with Chief Seattle. It is slightly different, just to kind of give you a heads up. But if you want to do that, you definitely can. The questions from the letter, as well as the questions we mentioned here from the Transcontinental Railroad guys, they have to be completed and submitted at some point on Wednesday. Okay? So have a great day, great couple of days. See you at the Google Meet if you have any questions.